UK market is tough now, but if you have the right plan and strategy, you can not only get a job, but you can also get visa sponsorship job. So today I have invited a student who managed to get visa sponsorship straight after the student visa. He did not even take the graduate visa, which is post-study work permit. So if you guys want to get inspired, make sure you watch the video till the end, as I have invited him to share his rejection story and also his success story. But before we start, a quick introduction about myself for my new audience. My name is Sarika and I have been living in the UK for the last 14 years. I work full-time in IT and during my free time, I make YouTube videos. I have two good news to share with you guys as well. First is about study abroad service. You guys already know that I can help you study abroad in any of these listed countries. You simply need to fill the form which is provided in my video description and pinned comment, and my team will reach out to you soon. If you don't hear back from them, you can send me a direct email on yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com. Second update from me, I'm launching a job assistance service to help you find a job in the UK. I know many of you are struggling to find jobs and need more help navigating the UK job market. I'll assist you from start till the finish, including job searching, networking, and interview preparation. This is a paid service and I will take only a few students to start with. I offer two packages, one for groups and for one, which is more expensive, one-to-one consultation. If you want more details, you can email me with your CV at yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com. So without any further delay, let's get started with today's video by inviting Harshit. Hi Harshit, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself once again to my audience?
Okay, so to begin with, I would like to say what I'm doing right now. So I work as an audit assistant with RSM. Been working over here for about 2 years, and before this, I had some experience working as an equity research analyst, like relevant experience in terms of accounting and finance. I've completed my MSc in management finance from Durham University over here. Back in India, I did my bachelor's in accounting. Other than that, I think all I like to do is basically invest into the market. That's more of a personal thing. But yeah, that's about my professional and education life over here and in the past.
That was short and sweet. Thank you. So, Harshit, one of the reasons why I'm trying to interview here is to inspire a lot of other students. Currently, most of the students in the UK, they're struggling to find job. Forget about sponsorship. Yeah. I
Mhm.
know you are one of the successful students, who had managed to get job, and that also with sponsorship directly from your student visa. You did not even take the PSW, which is the graduate visa. Now, first of all, tell me, what kind of experience did you had before moving to the UK?
So before moving to the UK, I was working as an equity research analyst in Growth Arrow Company. And I worked over there for about 9 months, to be honest. 3 months officially, 6 months unofficially.
Mm. And
And the behind that unofficial working was that the internship was only for 3 months. They wanted to have me for next 1 year, but I already had my plans for my education in the UK. So then I just told them that, okay, I cannot work for next 1 year with you guys, but I'll be more than happy to still continue working. And if possible, I'm even happy to continue working with you guys, even if I'm not been paid. And that's what I just told them. And that's when they were like, okay, then that's fine, because it's India after all. You still get those kind of opportunities wherein if you are doing unpaid work, they're happy to have you.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for this remaining period of my time back in India before coming over here. Before that, I actually worked as an HR, but that was more of a COVID time job, which I did because I never wanted to be into HR. I started with Whitehead Junior back then, never wanted to be in HR. It was just that it's COVID time, whatever you're getting, it just take it or snatch it. And that's what I did. So yeah, it's just some experience which I gained. Like it gave me some insights that how corporate works, how to interact with people and so on within the corporate. And I think, yeah, since then I started making my applications, prepared for my IELTS, did not prepare a lot, to be honest. I did study only for 4 or 5 days probably because I was also studying for my GMAT. So I just carried that learnings over to IELTS, and I think that was easy to crack on. And then applied for multiple universities in the UK, got accepted into multiple universities as well. And then eventually decided on to Durham because I got a scholarship of £7,000 from Durham University. I also got scholarship from other universities, but Durham was the biggest one. So I just eventually came into Durham. And that's what my journey, like in short, would be before I moved to the UK.
Yeah. For my new audience, Harshit is not new to my channel. He was the first person I ever interviewed on my channel when he landed a sponsorship, I believe almost 3 years ago, right, Harshit? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, yeah.
So tell me, did you have like any kind of professional qualification or any kind of certification in finance as such from India?
No, I was not having any kind of professional qualifications or certifications from India. But yeah, the good thing is, it depends to which university you are studying from as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there are like, if you're studying from DU, if you're studying from MU,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm only aware of these two. There might be many more. But if you're studying from any of these universities, and even if you have done like plain BCom, simple BCom, you still end up getting some exemptions for chartered accounting qualifications in the UK, which is the certificate level exemptions.
Mm-hmm.
So the ACA qualification in the UK is basically divided into three levels: certificate, professional, and advanced. And
Mm-hmm.
you still end up getting first six exemptions of certificate level exam on the basis of your BCom, plain BCom as well. From DU and MU, might be other universities in there as well. And then if you are doing a relevant module or like relevant course in the UK over here, then you still get exemptions based on that, but it depends from which university you are doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the Russell Group universities actually do cover what ACA actually has to offer. So ACA does give exemptions for most of the Russell Group universities.
Mm-hmm.
Some other universities also exist which actually give very specific course, which by saying that okay, you will be able to claim exemptions in ACCA or ACA. I think one which I'm aware of is Liverpool, which basically clearly says that you will be getting exemption in these modules if you study these. But yeah, most of the Russell Group universities actually qualify for any kind of professional certifications that you want to do in UK if you are studying relevant modules.
Yeah, so you're suggesting students to go for those universities if they're looking for finance or sponsorship job.
Absolutely, absolutely. The employers in the UK have, I think, special preference towards the students who are actually studying from Russell Group universities, at least in the financial and accounting domain. Not accounting specifically, like accounting will still not make a significant difference, but the ones who actually really want to go into core finance, like mergers and acquisitions, equity research, or any background role, basically, if they want to be in there, then it's very important for them to actually be into higher grade or higher ranked universities, because these employers definitely look at that. They definitely, like, if you're going for a graduate, if you're going for an experienced role, then your university will hardly make a difference.
Yeah,
But if you're going for a graduate role, the university does come in and it does make a significant difference over there. So I would suggest that if possible, just go for a Russell Group university.
okay, so did you apply for a graduate role when you finish your master's?
Yes, I did. I did apply for a graduate role. I remember the interview being 6 hours long. The final interview it was significant, but yeah, yeah, that's how the graduate roles over here in the UK are. It's very, very highly competitive, and I think it is even more competitive for the international students, considering they need to sponsor you, so it's more cost for them.
Yeah.
So if you're not more talented, if they do not see that, okay, this guy will be able to make bigger difference than if I hire someone else, or if I lose upon him or her, then and only then I think they will actually look forward to hiring you. So I think, and yeah, also one thing that I observed is if you are able to connect with your recruiter or your manager, whosoever is the interviewer, basically at that point in time, at a personal level as well, and just not keep it like very professional, I think that also significantly adds up to you being selected for that particular role. Because if you keep just professional, I don't think so that's how people in the UK actually work, by just having professional relationship. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, they just have professional relationship, but while you're at work, they talk, they have fun and all the stuff. So I think if you actually engage with them in those particular files or areas as well, I think that does significantly contribute to you being selected or becoming part of that particular role.
Yeah, that's true actually. So Harshit, which were the job sites that you used to find graduate roles?
So the first and the foremost one would be your university career portals itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the university in itself actually has their graduate options or graduate career websites, wherein they post all the graduate careers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I actually begin my search with. Then I use Total Jobs. I also used LinkedIn, but I might, and also Indeed, if I be honest. But yeah, whenever I saw a particular opportunity which I thought, okay, this is a good one, this is relevant, I actually never applied it using LinkedIn or Indeed or Total Jobs. I actually went onto the website of that particular company, and then I actually made that particular application, because the company websites gives you more opportunity to put your cover letters, other additional documents.
Attachments.
Which you do not get over on LinkedIn or so on, and it's all easy apply as well. So
Yeah.
you would see loads of applications, whereas it's like two different recruiters managing it.
Mm.
One LinkedIn would be managed by the outsourced recruiter probably, whereas the website one will be managed by the internal people itself. So it's, I think, a better opportunity if you go through website than actually
Yeah.
external.
Right. Okay. When is the best time to apply for a graduate visa? For example, say there are many students already who came to UK now for September intake. When is the best time for them to start applying for graduate roles?
If they have come in, like I would suggest it would be around March. They should start applying for the roles already because a lot of roles actually open around in March and even to be honest in January.
Yeah.
The roles are open for September and the roles get closed by June. So I think March is the best, time to actually start for applying for graduate roles in the UK.
Yeah. Any kind of preparation tips that you want to share with them? You know what? Because I remember you told me you had been rejected as well. You did not get the job for the first time. There were a lot of rejection reason. So let's talk about your rejection journey before your success journey. Why did you think you were rejected? What did you do to help yourself move from rejection stage to the success stage?
I think one of the reasons for me being rejected was over preparation. So I
Mm,
think the recruiters or the managers, whosoever basically was interviewing me, they realized that this guy has prepared a lot. They could see that. I mean, I could see it on their faces that yes, this guy has prepared. He is having answer to almost every question, and they were surprised about that as well. But honestly, I don't think so. They quite enjoyed it or enjoyed having that conversation because it was basically a pre-prepared answer
mm,
and they I think wanted something that comes off like they wanted to catch me off guard and I say something at that point in time after thinking of that particular question rather than just having a pre-prepared answer for them. I think that is what they were looking for, so that is one. And also I think there is that subtle racism there which you definitely cannot avoid. Like I was been interviewed in one of the organizations, like one of the competitor firm of the firm which I'm currently working in. I'm working in RSM. I won't take the name of the other firm, but they rejected me by saying you gave multiple examples. So
mm, mm.
you also come across a situation. So I think it is about giving multiple interviews. And yeah, I've been like giving interviews, and what happened is many a times in banks specifically
Mhm,
they came back to me. I'm in the final stage. They
mhm,
have selected me for the final stage, and they came
mm,
back and told me, "We are sorry, we have filled up the position." So they did not even took the interview as well.
mm.
So yeah, there could be multiple reasons. There are multiple things, but I think two of the biggest reasons I prepared a lot. One and one more. I, at that point in time, did not connect with anyone on a very personal level. I never asked like, "How are you today? What are you doing? What's your plan?"
Ah, yes.
All
Like
this.
small talks. British people,
Yeah,
they love small talks. They want to communicate, talk about the weather, how you're feeling today.
exactly. And I never did that because I thought this is irrelevant, bro. I mean, no one cares about.
It's
But
very
I think
relevant in the
that
UK.
is very important. Yes, that is very important. And that gives you a very high edge, like especially in your first round of interview,
Yeah,
because it's generally taken by HR or the recruiter.
yeah,
So if you're able to connect with them, even they push you ahead for towards the manager. Like just
yeah,
have a look at the CV,
yeah.
just look at this guy. So I think that is very important. So if you actually focus on being ourselves, do not fear, and I think most of us will be able to land up a job then.
Thank you. You touched upon very important point. I think you are one of the first candidate I'm talking where you're talking about over preparation. When I talk to other candidates, they said they didn't prepare very well. How did you prepare yourself so much? For example, those interview questions, how did you prepare?
So basically, there are some. What I prepared for was like questions which are like expected questions. Like, tell me
Mm,
something about yourself.
mm,
Tell me about this organization.
mm,
Why this role? Why this job? Tell me about a time when you worked in a team, when you were in an uncertain situation, and
mm.
etc. etc. So those 8, 9, 10 questions. So
Yeah.
that is what I prepared for because other than that, I think recruiters or managers just ask you 2, 3 more different questions. That's it. So that's what
Mm,
I was like. So if I've prepared for these.
Hmm.
I was like, I can tackle other whatever it is, but I just have a good answer for these 8, 9, 10 questions, whatever it is.
Yes.
But eventually, then I was like, forget it. I'm not preparing anything. I'm not doing anything. What I know, I know. If I'm not able to recollect anything, I'll just tell to that particular person that can we get back to this question towards the end of this interview? Can you give me about 10, 15 seconds to think about it? And I don't think so. They minded that at all.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like actually happy to listen to those
Yeah.
kind of comebacks that, okay, if I took some time, I'm unable to think of something. I just told
Correct.
them that I have been in this situation. I do have an answer, but it's just that I'm unable to recollect it. Can we get back to this question towards the end of this interview? And they actually liked those kind of responses than just me having a preempted response
Yeah,
to those questions.
that's true.
So yeah, that's what I think that I did. That basically I just put all my experience in line, whether it is educational, whether it is
Yeah.
like professional experience or any committee experience or anything. I just put that down, and then I put those questions down and just reference those things back to those questions. That okay, I can use this over here, I can use this over here, trying to keep it on a different example for all different questions.
Yes.
But yeah, how I prepared it. But yeah, I over prepared and basically by hearted the answers to the questions, which I won't
Okay.
recommend.
I'm going to mention one thing for my audience here. So, what Harshit is talking about in the UK, yes, you have your technical round, which is about your subject matter expert for the roles you're applying. And the other part is about the situation based questions, which is the competency based questions, which needs to be based on your STAR technique. Basically, you'll be given a scenario like Harshit was mentioning. You have to frame your answer in the STAR technique. S means for situation. You have to explain the situation. What was the task assigned to you? What action did you take? And what result did you achieve? This is very important. Based on that, I have already framed around 70 questions and answers based on my experience of being in the UK. If you guys want to have a look at that question bank, you can comment PDF and I can send it to you guys as well.
I would also like to add to that star strategy which you mentioned. Like,
Mhm,
this is what I think one more mistake I made. This is a good one, good reminder.
mhm,
So I tried to stick to star, like
mhm,
STAR, follow the same pattern. It's
mhm,
not necessary. We
mm.
can give the results first, and then it's more necessary that we communicate the whole star,
Yeah, as long as
but
you
in a
do it.
story pattern. Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
So
Yeah, but they want to know the result for sure. It doesn't
yes,
matter whether you succeeded, whether it was positive or negative, but they still want to know the result and what was your action. They want to see what were
yes,
the roles and responsibilities actually you did. They want to see
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And doesn't matter how you communicate. Results first,
Yeah.
situation first, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's however you want to do it. The
Correct.
best way to frame the story, it's your way. You do
Yeah,
it.
correct. As long as it's complete, they get a complete
Yes,
answer.
exactly.
Harshit, as you know, the UK market is pretty tough now, especially around sponsorship. There are massive changes happening in the UK immigration system, where the UK government already raised the salary bar as well for skilled visa. From your knowledge, do you know which are the top companies that students should be targeting if they're looking for sponsorship role? First of all, that, and what kind of roles do you think sponsorship are being given in the finance area?
Okay, so that's a tricky question at this point in time. But yeah, if you're going for core finance, once again, corporate finance, mergers and acquisition, deal advisory, investment banking, equity research, the salary threshold actually do not impact at all. So it
Hmm.
doesn't matter.
Mm,
If you're going into accounting, auditing,
mm,
that is where it does make a difference.
mm,
And you actually have lost whole of UK in that particular case to
mm,
actually get a job,
mhm,
except for London. So it's just the London opportunities which will be available for people.
mhm,
Whichever company you want to go for, I mean, top 10, top 20, top 30, whichever ones you want to go for. So I
mhm.
think it's just the London, because London salaries were at around 33, 34K already
Yeah,
when compared to the counterparts in the UK, which were 26, 27, 28,
yeah,
29. So it
yeah.
was way below 30 and way below the threshold of the government. So at this point in time, even though the government has organized that particular scheme of 30% discount,
Mhm.
but the organizations are not willing to actually take that into account, and they are just considering the maximum salary threshold, which is 37,500, if I'm right about it, or 38,500. So yeah, I think the only place for accounting and auditing which remains is London. But for finance, it hardly makes a difference. You can just go anywhere and it still will be fine. But however, the finance will be having very, very limited options if you're not having experience. So you need to have some experience, and only then there would be a lot of options available for you, because a lot of smaller firms or a lot of smaller organizations or mid-cap organizations as well do not want to train anyone. They want people who know things. And it's only the large cap organizations or banks like BlackRock, Blackstone, Barclays, HSBC, etc., which remains, who are happy to give you sponsorship. But other than that, small ones do not want to give you sponsorship if they had to train you. So they will not be willing to do that. And yeah, the large ones, they are happy to do that, but then the opportunities in larger ones will be very limited. Like I think when I was in the final round of HSBC, I remember discussing this with the HR as well. And HR basically told me there were about 290,000 applications for 10 positions.
Oh my God.
So that's how it works. And I think I was in that HR round after already doing 2 rounds. So they removed around, I think they were like only for 50 or 45,000 people were remaining after those 2 rounds. And then those HR round was done for 45,000 people. Yeah, that's sad reality that the number of opportunities would be very less. So we do not want to put ourselves in that position. And one way to counter it is basically having a professional qualification like chartered accounting, CFA, or CIA or CTA. Any such kind of qualifications will actually help a lot.
Yeah. So are you saying that UK is not a market for freshers anymore because there will be less sponsorship and they may not have any professional qualification?
It's not necessary to have a professional qualification. What is necessary is to show that you are studying towards a professional qualification. So as I mentioned, if you have done plain BCom in India, you will be having 6 exemptions of certificates in your ACA and 5 exemptions of your certificate or first level. I don't know what it is called in your ACCA. So it shows your willingness towards studying towards your qualification, and that will still open up your doors. It's not necessary to have a qualification. And yes, a lot of people actually come up to me and ask me, like, I want to work in finance, but I'm doing accounting. So there are some firms which makes you work in accounting or auditing, but they do not even sponsor your education for professional qualification. But in that case, you'll be stuck because then the progression will be very difficult from there on. But if there is a firm which is sponsoring your education for professional qualification, I would suggest anyone to just grab it with both hands, because after that you can still switch from after completing your qualification from over there to any corporate finance, any role, literally any role. There are so many opportunities in the UK which says that we need recently qualified chartered accountant, we need recently qualified chartered financial analyst or equivalent. So just keeps on. So there are so many such roles available. So I think if you get an opportunity to study for ACA and put those exemptions in line, just do it. Just take it. That will help you to land up a job opportunity as well. Because it's like they have to spend less, or the firms have to spend less money in your tuitions, and they have to give you less leaves for your studies, and also you'll spend more time working then. So yeah, that's, I think, benefiting the firm. So that's why they would be happy to actually take you in. So there is opportunity still available, but how you actually make it available for yourself has changed to a certain extent. Now you have to put yourself through professional qualification, or else it will be very difficult, or experience, either one of it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Harshit. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with my audience. Is there any final tips for students who are already here in the UK and who will be looking now for jobs?
Once you have applied for a job, and if you actually are aware who the person is, who the recruiter is reviewing that particular job, then I think I would be suggesting you guys to actually connect with that particular recruiter and manager beforehand, before your interview, after making your application, and try to gauge that how they are, what they are looking for. I just asked, like, before this final into like the company which I'm working in, I just messaged the hiring manager. I was like on LinkedIn, and I just asked her that, are you guys looking for multiple examples or single exam? I just asked her, and she was like, it doesn't matter, whatever you do, it's fine. If you give multiple, it's even better. So you get a preference into the managers, like what they are looking for, the insight over there. I think it's very useful. So I think if you can do that, if you have that opportunity, just do.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Harshit. Thank you, and good luck to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sarika.